What's going on, guys? Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. And you know what this Tennessee baseball team did tonight? They said happy Father's Day to you too with the 6-1 beatdown of the North Carolina Tar Heels. This team's moving on to Wednesday. They're one game away from the championship series for the first time in school history. They're 2-0 in the College World Series to start this thing. What a night. What a game. It was a little bit of a slow start, but this team, once they got rolling, I'll be honest, I thought it was a dominant performance tonight. I thought it was a dominant performance over what I feel is a good team. It's a good lineup. I don't think there's any pitching we're going to see that is going to really intimidate us. I just don't. I don't think there's a pitching staff that is in Omaha that's going to be better than what these guys are seeing every day in batting practice. I just don't. And, it is what it is with it. But, I said keys to victory today. I'm going to get into my keys to victory. We got 52. I'm going to slow it up just a little bit, just kind of take it in. Again, all you dads out there, thank you. Happy Father's Day to all you. If my dad's tuning in, happy Father's Day to you. I love you. I appreciate you. I talked to him earlier before the game. Hopefully you're tuning in tonight on here. But, it's a team that the big thing I talked about today, I dropped my keys to victory. I had one. I've got a comment I'm going to get here. Somebody was like, yeah, you called it or wanted to see this when it happened. I'm going to get to that one, Kyle, here in just a minute. But Drew Beam, that's my number one. I wanted to see QB1. I wanted to see the QB1 that we know and love tonight. You know what we got? The QB1 we know and love tonight. Drew Beam was great tonight. He pitched really well. And what I liked better was that Tony Vitello, Frank Anderson, these guys, they cut it off when it was there. But let's make no mistake about this. Drew Beam deserves his credit. Kirby Cannell come in and put the fire out. Kirby Cannell was awesome tonight. He came in, I'm going to get into that. So Beam went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 73 pitches. That's a pretty good amount. Kirby Cannell. How about Kirby Cannell? He comes in, nobody out, a couple guys on, gets, 2 strikeouts? Is that right? 2 innings, 1 hit, picked the dude off of first, and then got the strikeout into the inning. Then he come in, pitched another inning. He was lights out. Hats off to him. Hats off to Kirby Cannell, man. He was great tonight. And then Nate Snead come in. Snead was a little bit. All that matters, Snead was 2 innings, no runs, ball game. Great job by these guys. We're up at about 72 right now. Of course, it's a little different tonight. It was a little bit more mellow. It was a little bit more cool hand, if you will. We're not coming off of as an emotional victory, but still a big time win tonight. Regardless, it's 2-0 in the College World Series. This team's moving on. Woo! Let's go. So Tennessee Wednesday. I think 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. This is early. So some of you guys might have to take a little vacation time on Tuesday. You might have to sneak out a little bit early. Might have to get the boss to understand it a little bit. But this thing's going to be live right after it. Again, Wednesday, hopefully we're going live talking about that trip to the championship series. So North Carolina, Florida State will play on Tuesday. The winner of that plays Tennessee on Wednesday. If Tennessee wins, they're off to the weekend, off to the championship series. If Tennessee loses, they will play the if game on Thursday. I don't know the time on Thursday. You know what? I don't care what the time is on Thursday because I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. I feel both these teams Now, granted, they'll get some pitching back, and Tennessee, if they get Florida State, may see Jamie Arnold again. Bring on Jamie Arnold. All right. I'm good with any lefty that we see. This team is hitting left-handed pitching very good right now. That's what I want to see as left-handed pitching. So, if you got it, so be it. Let's see. Let's get in some comments here. Papa J, Big John, what's going on, man? 2-0, baby. Let's go. Big Orange for $20. Thank you so much for your generosity. Greatly appreciated on that. Big John, he's in here early. Get through some of these. He's the mustaches on the cleats. How about that? Those are pretty cool for sure. We had a little bit of an ump deal tonight. The original umpire, of course, I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's all right with it. Apparently, the heat was pretty brutal. I'm thinking the heat may have gotten to him, so they had to, make that change. And that was the time where Tennessee, Rich Chapman had hit a bomb. Drew Beam was pitching pretty well. They had to send Beam out to the bullpen, but what? That's a situation where what can you do, man? It's that sucks. That stinks. I'm sure the umpire in question, we can say what we want about umpires, but we don't want that to happen either. They are humans. They may miss calls. They make right calls, what have you. Let's see what else we got down here. Redemption says Papa J. So I said I was going to get to this comment here. You said the other night you want to see Curly step up. I said it today as well. Not sure if you listened. How many of you listened to my Keys to Victory today? But that was one of them. I got a little bit fired up on it. I wanted to see Dean Curley step up at shortstop. And you know what Dean Curley did tonight? Not that he listened to me today. Dean Curley stepped up. He stepped up, especially when Snead come in. I didn't necessarily think Snead was bringing his best stuff, but then we get to double play. And then right after that, Dean Curley makes the play on the line drive. He had the big hit that moved the score to 5-1 tonight. Dean Curley had a big night. Big time from him. And I thought kind of the tone got set early. Tennessee's bats did not come out of the gate hot. North Carolina's shortstop, hats off to him. Great play to start the game on Christian Moore. Threw it over. He was fired up. Top of the second inning was their 4 guy. Hit one deep. Hunter Ensley goes back. Makes a heck of a play. Heck of a play to run it down. He crashes into the wall. We got up, fired up. I thought he was good, and ends up he come up with some kind of an injury out of that tonight. I don't know what it is. I'm sure we'll hear later on what that injury is. But Ensley had to come out for Colby Backus. Did his job in center field. Caught the last ball to end the game. Backus drew a walk. The second time he looked like a deer in headlights. That's those type of at-bats is why he doesn't play on the weekends. I hate to be mean on that one or whatever. That was a horrible at-bat. There were some good pitches to swing at, and he sat and watched. But anyhow, that'll be in the good, the bad, the ugly category later on. But yeah, Dean Curley, he definitely stepped up tonight. There is no doubt about it. Let's get into some things tonight. So let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly on the night. There's a lot of easy places to start on this one. The good, Drew Beam. Drew Beam. That was my number one key today, was how does Drew Beam go? Let me get through his comments first, and I'll get to that. John Baxter's pretty confident. He says game 1 was the wake-up call. We're going to rampage the rest of this tournament and not losing a single game. I had a thought today. As much, I'm kind of with you, John. I'm feeling the same thing on this one. But as much as Tennessee and Kentucky fans go at one another, there's always this pissing contest about who's won championships, this and that. Neither one Kentucky's first College World Series trip. Of course, Tennessee's never won the College World Series. This could go two ways. Let's get it to the final. Tennessee versus Kentucky. Why not? What would be better than beating Kentucky for the national championship? Unfortunately, there's the other end of the spectrum, which would be worse than losing to Kentucky. But I don't know. I think there's a pretty good chance you're going to see an SEC. If Tennessee takes care of business either Wednesday or Thursday, I think there's a good chance that you will see an SEC team with NC State facing elimination tomorrow against Florida. I think it would be Caglione for Florida. Not sure on NC State. I think if you're NC State, especially that Kentucky tied that game yesterday, and it said they went to their main guy in the bullpen after it. If I don't know, I don't see where you can save a guy at this point in the season. You got to get it to where it is. It is what it is. But we got 107 in here right now. It's awesome. That's pretty awesome. Send this thing out. This is the place for Tennessee baseball. I'm going to promote a little bit right now because this channel here, there might be some others covering it right now because it's the cool thing to do. It's the cool thing because Tennessee baseball's in the College World Series. They're 2-0. There's been one channel who's been on this stuff week in, week out. Lots of videos, lots of previews. You've not seen it anywhere else. That's no shade towards any others or anything. I'm just telling you, this is the place for Tennessee baseball. Make sure you send that out. If somebody's tuning in on another channel, they're on the wrong place. They're on the wrong place for it tonight. They're in a place that's just happy. This place is happy too. This place has been on it for a while. So a little bit of a tangent. As you guys know, I'll go on multiple tangents on the night. But let's get in some more comments here. Logan Hollenshed said Kirby in the 6 was crucial in this win. Man, you cannot be any more truthful on there. That is spot on. That was huge in this game tonight that Kirby Cannell come in that 6th inning. A couple guys on. He got the strikeout. He got the pickoff. He got the strikeout that ended it. That was huge. That was big time pitching from Kirby Cannell. And I said, one of my keys to victory, of course, I said Drew Beam. Drew Beam doing his thing. Now, we got 5 out of Beam, and I think that's pretty good. Because I'm going to be honest, he rolled through 3. That 4th inning, that's where I got nervous. It wasn't, I didn't really, that I was scared or anything. It's just that we've seen it the last couple of weeks that Beam has struggled in that 4th inning. And something I picked up on tonight, I've really not picked up on this before. It's when he goes out of the stretch. That's where he's struggling, is out of the stretch. And, but he pitched his way out of it in the 4th. He pitched his way out of it in the 5th. It got to a point in the 6th where, and I credit that Tony Vitello and staff for it. They stepped up and got the guys out that they needed to. They got him out at that point, got Cannell in, and Cannell was big time. Big time outing from him in the 6th that shut it off, and then he got through the 7th as well. Yes, KT was the man today. Drew gave me the number of innings I was hoping for. Yeah, I agree with you, Laura. I agree. Tears was big. Tears got the 3-run home run. He got the RBI late. I was good with Beam getting through 5, getting into the 6th inning. That was my hope. He would get into the 6th inning. I'm really happy for Cannell that he come in, ice in his veins, took care of business tonight. These pitchers were really good tonight for Tennessee. Here's another one. How about Tears has had a big College World Series so far. There is no doubt about it. Ronnie Freeman makes some good points. Their bats won game one, pitching won game two, and they had some time hits tonight. There's no doubt about it. They had to overcome pitching issues in game one. Tonight, pitching was on point. I mean, again, Beam, let me get back to that one again. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Heck of a night. Cornell, 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. And then Snead, 2 innings, 2 walks. But he got it, he got 6 outs. That's all that matters. 6 outs. And the one, I would say basically the really one bad pitch was Beam to Honeycutt. You know what? There was no one on. They faced Honeycutt pretty much all night with no one on. That's how you want to face him. Because there's some good hitters in this North Carolina lineup. Let's make no mistake about it. But they took care of business. They did not allow North Carolina's bottom of the lineup to do anything against them. I want to look at North Carolina's stats. I'm going to share this with you, and we'll get to more. Let me get through the comment. This is my struggle on here, is just getting through the comments. So I'm going to hit the high ones here. Defense was definitely back to look. Good job by the defense. It's, they had to challenge one early, but Burke's foot was on the bag. Other than that, very good night. Yeah, Beam had a low pitch count. The last couple innings increased it for sure. Beam pitched to Jim. Tears with the big 3-run. Here's our at-bats plus our pitching was great. All of our pitches had low pitch counts per AB, and they had high pitch counts per AB. Yeah, for sure. We will know, Travis. That's why I need to get caught up on comments here. Some of them have already updated you. Depends on Tuesday, the winner, Florida State and North Carolina. Some of the people in here already hit on that. Will Murley. And, yeah, absolutely. They have to beat us twice, for sure. Good comment here. 16, Kirby come in, slammed the door shut. That was big. North Carolina, I thought it was big 2 in the 8th. They got the first guy on, got a little fired up, and then the double play. That pretty much took the air out of it at that point. Let me go on down. Lots of people in here. Thank you, guys. 115. Again, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. You guys know, you've heard all this stuff before. The biggest thing for this channel, for its growth, is sharing it out. It's getting out there. I keep getting a lot of people who, and I'm not turning this into a bashing of where I was at. I never intend to do that when I mentioned that. I'm thankful for that opportunity and all that stuff. I'm not getting into that. The other channel I was on before that provided me, a little bit of an opportunity, or not a little bit, an opportunity to build a platform. A couple years after leaving that, I decided to start one, and people found it along the way. So, if you don't like that channel, that's your choice or what have you. That's up to you all. I'm not going to participate in it. I'm grateful for that opportunity along the way. But I keep getting people in here asking, hey, is this the Indy Kid? Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, I used to go by Indy Kid. I went, Armaine at one point. Frank Rock is here to stay. House of Orange is here to stay as well. Always cool seeing people come over and, recognize them from the channel I used to be on as well on that. But this is a really good point right here. Can't believe they would use Honeycutt to bunt. I mean, I get it. I get it to the extent you're trying to sneak one in, but back to the pit, that bunt was horrific. It was horrific. Kirby Connell, definitely a Tennessee legend. Jim Urey, hello World Series win column. Wilkerson's the man. Go ahead to I bet Inslee will be good for Wednesday. I bet he'll be all right. I don't know what his injury was, and any of you guys that may have heard it, please feel free to share that. But this is the thing with Snead. I'm gonna hit the big comments here. When that dude comes in, he comes in fired up. He comes in fired up, and I think it's a lot of times with him just dialing it down. And yeah, he was excited. He came in amped up, but he put the first guy on. But then once they got that double play, he did what he had to do from there. Good point here again. Tim Dewberry. Tears has a great game, not for man. Reese Chapman. How about old Reese? I thought his first at bat, he had a good swing and he got too much lift under it. His second one, man, he mashed that one. Big time for him. Good job out of Reese Chapman tonight. I'll get into some of the stats in a minute and talk about him, but he did excellent tonight. And that I'm telling you, I just think about the DH and just different points. If it's a freaking church league softball game or whatever, it's still hard to DH because you're just sitting over there screwing off. And if you're in a dugout full of college guys, now think back last year when I coached in high school, the amount of horse shit and stuff that goes on in that dugout, it's hilarious. It can be annoying. It's head shaking. It is hard if you're a DH. I cannot imagine you got all these jokers over there who are not in the game. They're into it. They're cheering, and they're going on with the biggest bunch of malarkey that there ever was. If you're a DH, it's really hard to stay amped up opposed to when you're in the field, you have to be on it. And, people, myself, I mean, we're not getting anything out of the DH. It's easy to say, but then you look at it, that's not an easy role. It's not an easy role because you're not out in the field. You're not dialed in as much. You're around a bunch of ridiculousness going on. It's a hard thing to do. Eric Jones knew it. He knew Tennessee would win. You know what's funny? Through 2 games, I've not been nervous. I got nervous 4th inning tonight because that's been where the circus has began. But through 2 games, I've not been nervous. I was not nervous tonight. I feel really good right now when we see a left-handed pitcher. That's not been the case in the past. I would rather see a lefty than a righty. Anytime a team opposes with a lefty, I mean, I feel like our righties, of course, can hit left, but our left-handed guys in the lineup, they hit left-handed pitching really well. If you are a team built on left-handed pitching, I don't know that Tennessee's a team you want to throw them against. G. White bringing some stats here. The team starting off 2-0 in Omaha has won the title 27 of the last 33. Well, let's hope Tennessee's at 28 out of 34. This is an interesting point. When Tennessee's defensive pitching does that, I don't believe anybody can beat them. I don't either. And, they talked, I can't remember what inning it was. They were saying this is 2 of the best defensive teams in the whole country. You wouldn't know it based on the other night, but Tennessee's defense was stout tonight. It was stout. Let's see, we're at 123, man. That last call, Burke, for a swing called a strike is almost like a call they were afraid to make because of the last Hoobaloo, the last game. I kind of missed it. I don't remember if I was texting or what, but I kind of missed it. But I'm not. I'll take it tonight over Friday night for sure. And so much was made of that from Friday night. Listen, if it was on the shoe was on the other foot, we would probably be unhappy too on it. The big thing is, I commend the umpire from third base Friday night. If you're unsure of it, you can't call it a strike if you're unsure on it. Cotton, watching from Nicaragua. Go Big Orange. Now let's win it off. Thank you. I don't know what time it is there right now, Cotton, but thank you so much for tuning in. Very much appreciate that. Kirby put the fire. That pickoff was big. I just made the comment that I said if we let that guy from third score, we're okay with it. And it was about that time Kirby picked off the dude at first and then got the strikeout. That was big. That was big. Makeup call on Burke. Yeah, yep, he knew it. I think so too. He kind of laughed about it. But you know what? It is what I don't think any Tennessee fan needs to apologize after all the just crazy calls that's gone against them. Going back to, I can go back to 2000. What Jabbar Gaffney, the catch that Jabbar Gaffney has never made to this point. We can go through the years. 2 Music City Bowls with just ridiculous calls on it. Purdue 2019. Lamonte Turner still has not fouled Carson Edwards to this day on it. Where else could we could go? So many. Ole Miss, 3 years ago, returned a fumble for a touchdown, then it gets called back, even though the whistle had not blown. If Tennessee had lost that game Friday night, you can bet the rest of the country would have laughed, would have made jokes, would have made fun of. But the fact that Tennessee finally, for once, got a call, they made Florida State pay for it. Nobody where's Tennessee needs to apologize for it. If you're apologizing, whatever, man. You're too good of a person, I would say, on that. But sometimes that's the way sports work. Too many times with Tennessee, the calls have gone against us. It's not playing the victim or anything. It's just that we have a checkpoint, a notebook with bullet points. It's not been good. It's not been good. We got a little bit of a break. We got some calls, rightful calls against Alabama 2 years ago in football that worked out. That in the, there's years that I felt like those probably may not have been called. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I like where this team is sitting, at least going into the championship series. And I know on the telecast they were debating who pitches on Wednesday. I think you go Sechrist. And then you let if he does what he's been doing, and you get to Saturday, I think you let it play out as it is. Because they were saying, well, how do you do that? You need him for the weekend. You're playing. I think you have to play 2 ways. Number one, you play for worst case. But number 2, you're playing to come in, and whoever comes out of that other side, you're coming in to beat their asses on Saturday and Sunday. Your plan coming in, if you win Wednesday or Thursday, whatever, and you get to the weekend, your plan going into that weekend is to beat whoever is on the other side's ass in 2 games and end it. So you don't have to worry about it. Let's see what else we got. I think this was a case, North Carolina State Pence for FSU. I said it today when I did my North Carolina keys to victory. I think we'll see North Carolina again. I think North Carolina's better than Florida State. I think their offenses are similar. I think North Carolina has a better pitching staff than Florida State. To me, they may have to come back with Arnold. If they better have Arnold ready to go. I will say that. T-Bird Sign Shop says, thanks for all you do and for never sugarcoating. Thank you too, T-Bird. Appreciate you always supporting, being here on the channel as well. It's pretty awesome. And thank you and Papa J for your generosity, for sure. Let me get back in some more comments before we get back into some. Ronnie Freeman, number 175 home runs, number 2 all time. I don't see Tennessee getting to number one, but you know what? That's nothing to be ashamed of for sure. What LSU's 188, I believe it is. I'd love to see Tennessee hit another 14 home runs in this park. I don't know that I do. Be happy, just happy beating Florida. Yeah, I agree with that one. Backus needs to swing the bat. Yeah, that was he looked like a deer in headlights on that last at bat. Kirby, player of the game, man, it's a valid point. It's a valid point. His when he come in, that was huge. That was huge, him getting out of that inning with no runs. I was like, if that runner from third scored, I was okay with it, make it 4-2. Kirby had two huge innings tonight. There is no doubt. Let's see, Anderson. It's Kentucky versus Texas A&M tomorrow. Those two are undefeated. Winner of that'll be on till I'm not sure what. I'm assuming they're Wednesday as well. Actually, interesting point. I think Beam could have won another inning or two if it weren't for the umpire change. I don't know, maybe not, but I feel he was. He was. I don't know. I don't know because fourth inning started a little bit. Fifth inning, he got out of trouble. I think it was just getting to that point where it was time to get him out. I think it was the right thing. And like you said, man, had it not been for the umpire change, maybe he keeps rolling. That's a tough one there. If Cal can get a little hot, he could really help next too with how 1, 2, or 3 hitting right now. Cal's got to learn to bunt. But you know what? I know this with bunting. It's bunting's we a lot. Me as well. I get pissed off with when players can't get bunts down. I've seen it my own players that I've coached and stuff. I coached it a lot last year. I watched guys bunting in a freaking bucket right below them. And sadly enough, when I come up and showed them how to do it, I put it right in the bucket. But putting a bunt down, I think with me, I think back to I was excellent at bunting in my days of playing. I wasn't some high level player or nothing like that. I was okay. I was all right at it. But one thing I was really good at was definitely bunting. For me, how it worked, if I sit and squared around, waited, and tried to go with it, that's a hard thing to do. Me more, I work with moving towards it, kind of the run and bunt, I guess you could say. And if I was on that, lights out at bunting. I mean, I'm not bunting. I'd never bunted at guys throwing mid-90s. I threw it bunted, at guys throwing in 80s, which is obviously not the same, but still yet. It's a hard technique. Everybody wants to hit a bomb. Everybody wants to get their launch angle and their exit velocity and so forth. I've seen so many swings at a younger age. They're going for those exit velo, those launch angle. If you can't hit it 50 miles per hour, you probably need to work on bunting a little bit. It's a lost art. It's still a part of the game. And, sometimes I think bunting is overthought and that we need to get squared. I know the way it used to be. I don't know as much now. I think more now if we need more movement. I mean, I don't know. It's a thought. But I say as somebody who could bunt pretty well, and I feel I could still bunt pretty well if needed, righty or lefty. And even though I never hit lefty in baseball, I could put one down left-handed. But still, I think it's guys. If your average is down around 200, the case in Cal start, you gotta learn how to bunt, man. You got to figure out what works for you bunting. Inslee hamstring issue, precautionary. Yeah, he was limping around. He was limping around for sure. So I would be curious. I would think he'll be back on Wednesday. Interesting. Kirby's inherited 36 runners this year. Only 9 have scored. Been too hard on Kirby at times. Same here. Same here. I was on a text and one of them said, hey, I think Ped's revenge, PED's revenge. He's the one. He said, I think they bring him in because they trust him to get out of it. That's exactly right, man. It's exactly right. This team, that's Kirby's job. He comes in and gets them out of messes because he throws strikes for the most part. A lot of his damage comes in different times. But yeah. Let's see. We're getting to Xander to get to the championship series, and you feel good about it. Can't say anyone called that. Credit to him. Yeah, absolutely. I feel pretty confident Xander's going Wednesday. And who would have thought? I know Ped's revenge here was in Arlington for the first series. Secret started out pretty good against, who was it? Baylor, I'm thinking. Struggled a little bit, had some struggles along the way, and then he was on it at that point. He was on it. And, last few weeks he's been excellent. It is what it is. Yes, I thought so as well. I feel like Amick could have come home, but they held him up on 3rd and 8. I thought he could have too. I thought it might have been close. But yeah, I totally agree with that one. This is an interesting one. The DH spot. 2 years ago, Christian Moore and Blake Burke, both double-digit home runs as DHs. For sure. I remember Tony Vitello talking about Christian Moore in the dugout, saying he was a maniac. I think that was his exact words as well. Guevara's Tears should walk up to everybody who wants to rule the world by Tears for Fears. That'd be awesome. MTV in a dugout. Ridiculousness. I feel very confident in this one. Tennessee against left-handed pitching, they're excellent right now. And normally left-handed pitching to a lot of lineups are like kryptonite. This Tennessee team and their left-handed hitters hit left-handed pitching very good. Sprague had some pretty good stuff earlier on. I felt pretty confident if they got to, the next round with him that they could hit him. And they did. They did. North Carolina after round found out. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Brent Fisher said these guys don't flinch. One hell of a way to end a great Father's Day. Spent the day with all 3 of my daughters. Ate great barbecue. Got to watch the game with my mom and 86-year-old grandma. That's awesome, man. Happy Father's Day to you, Brent, and all the rest of you dads out there as well. Interesting point right here. Assume they were observing Hunter for concussion protocol. That's possible. That's possible because we saw the eye black on the wall. The way he was walking around the dugout, though, he either had something going for hamstring or he had a pulled ass muscle. One of the two. I don't know which it is tonight, guys, but it could have been concussion as well, for sure. Leslie Byram says Tennessee will win the national championship, and I predict him 2 weeks ago to play A&M. It's possible. It's a good prediction. Beam was dominant. Yep, he was very good tonight. He was the best he's been overall in it since at least South Carolina, if not later. Kirby was fantastic. This team, they just have to finish the job. They just have to finish the job. A&M versus Kentucky tomorrow night. Florida versus NC State in the losers bracket. Let's see what else we got. Let me try to get through all these. Tony's walk-up song is actually Mother from Danzig. Mississippi Ball, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for tuning in on that. Says great show as usual, Frank. So I'm not going to confuse myself with the rest. I'm not a father. I'm happily married. Love my wife. I'm a dog dad. I guess I'm a dog father more than anything. No actual kids. I guess my kids I teach throughout the school year, that would be as close to it as I am. And that's okay as well. But all you dads out there, thank you. Thank you for all you do as well. Let's see what else we got here. All right, I think I'm caught up here. Yeah, this is there's a lot of interesting techniques out there about bunting. So wish when they would square around, you just catch the ball with the bat, don't push at it. I was taught to pull back and catch the ball. There's numerous techniques. Baseball's a freaking weird sport, man. It's infuriating to an extent because there's so much stuff out there. I'm not the be all know all of baseball or nothing like that. I think, yeah, I was like I said, I was an okay player. I have nothing to show for any of it because I was an idiot in high school with a lot the way I acted, my grades, all that stuff with it. But you know, at the same time, I wasn't at that point in time in the '90s. I didn't have all of to go to college. Would I've loved to have played baseball in today's society? Yes, absolutely. This year round stuff that would have been right up my alley. But it wasn't then, but there's so much stuff getting taught out here in baseball today. With travel ball, I don't know that I'm a fan of it. When I've coached, I've had people, well, this kid's killing it in travel ball, but it can't hit anything for me. Or, different rules apply. You try to confuse travel or try to infuse travel ball with school ball or what have you. I just think there's so much out there. Anybody ever tells you I know baseball, they don't know what they're freaking talking about. I've realized that. Analytics guys, there's good stuff, but there's a lot of bad stuff out there as well. It just is what it is. I think baseball was not simplified enough. And unfortunately, now everything's about launch angle, it's about exit velocity, it's about how hard you can throw. It's, your simple player in today's society is overlooked. A guy who can base hit it up the middle, a guy who, if you want to see a good round of BP, you get in a cage, we hear about cage bombs and stuff. I don't care about freaking cage bombs. Show me you can hit it up the middle. You can take the ball up the middle. That's what I want to see. On the field, you can take it up the middle with it. Yeah, you can hit bombs on ones down the middle. What can you do if I'm throwing you BP and I'm throwing everything outside, which I tried to do pretty often with BP? What can you do with that? What can you do if I bust you inside on one? Everybody can hit one down the middle. It is what it is. There's so much stuff out there in baseball today, and it's love the sport. I'm passionate about it. I get infuriated by know-it-all baseball guys. If you're going to be a know-it-all, I better see the proof out of you. I better see the proof. Tony Vitello, if he's telling me something, I'm going to listen. Joe Blow out here telling me some crap, who hasn't done anything I don't need to hear. I'm on tangent again. Let's get in some stats tonight. And I'll try to wrap this thing up here in a few minutes. This is an excellent comment right here, and I totally agree. Love the win. I was just glad for a less dramatic ending. My heart couldn't take another. I only hope for it because we had like close to 250 people in here the other night. We hit about 110 to 120 tonight, which is the norm. It's pretty cool. But one thing about the dramatic endings, they are good for business for sure. But I was with it tonight. I was totally good with that. Hopefully, we'll get back into that next week with a good win on Wednesday and then getting into the weekend. Looking at stats tonight, let me share my screen. I'll look at stats. I'll probably look at wrapping up here fairly soon tonight. We'll kind of cut it a little short. 11:30. A lot of you have to go to work tomorrow. Moore 1 for 4. Burke 1 for 4. Amick 0 for 3. Tennessee had 11 strikeouts tonight. They only left 4 on base though. I think that was big for them. Dreiling 1 for 2. Had a couple of walks. Inslee was 0 for 2 and got pulled for Backus. Backus was 0 for 1, had the walk. His last at bat was horrific. Tiers 2 for 4, 4 RBIs. Definitely, to me, the player of the game. Cannell, I would put Cannell. I would almost go 3 ways. Beam, Cannell, Tiers. I think Beam deserves his credit tonight because he got him into that 6th inning. Cannell put the fire out. Tiers was big. Curley, I thought, had a good night. He was 1 for 4 with an RBI, but I thought his defense tonight, he made plays that he's not been making. I thought that was big. Chapman, 1 for 2. Hats off to Chapman. He flew out. He hit a bomb. He walked tonight. Good night for him. Cal Stark 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Cal's got to do something productive with the bat. He's almost all or nothing at the plate. He really is. It's almost either bomb or strikeout with him. And, I know he makes up for it behind the plate. He's an excellent catcher. He's got to do something. He's at least got to get his bunts down when they're called for on it. You can't be home run or strikeout all the time. And, of course, it's more strikeouts than home runs with him. At some point, do I think he'll come through? I think he'll break through at some point. But it really is. I feel like it's all or nothing with him. I want to look at Carolina's box score. This one kind of fascinates me because I want to see what Tennessee forced out of them tonight. So if we look at Carolina's box score, right now I got Tennessee still up. I'm going to shift it to North Carolina. Honeycutt was 1 for 3 with the home run. Cook, who's a 344, was 1 for 4. Harbor, 345, was 2 for 4. D'Onofrio, 0 for 4. Gallagher, 0 for 4. Stevenson, 0 for 2. Vanderbrake, 0 for 3. Madera, 1 for 3. Wilkerson, 0 for 3. 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks. Carolina left 6 on base along the way. So a couple of those innings. And here you see what they're pitching. Sprague, 4 innings. What was it? Matthias, 1 1/3. Peterson, Patchett, Bovair did a pretty good job on that. We didn't see Carolina's best guy out of the bullpen, but I don't think we were going to see that. I mean, that is a testament to what Tennessee did against the guys before that you didn't get to Carolina's main guy out of the bullpen. And, I like it pretty well. I still expect that Tennessee will see North Carolina on Wednesday. I think North Carolina has more pitching than Florida State. If we get it to Jamie Arnold, if we see Florida State, we'll probably see Jamie Arnold again. I don't know. He didn't intimidate me that much. I would rather see him than Sprague, to be honest with you. I just really would because he's pretty much fastball or slider. Sprague had a pretty good changeup. Tennessee, finally caught up with it a little bit, but, Sprague got himself in trouble with walks and then Tiers made him pay. But other than that, Sprague was pretty good. Let's see where we're at. I think we'll get close to wrapping up on that one. Let me see if there's any comments from Tony Vitello tonight. All right, let me see where I can find. All right, let me get down to Vitello's comments here. Let's say they had Drew Beam. He said had pretty much everything going. Cal called a great game. Defense played well behind me. Beam on Cannell's night. He said he's seen anything and everything. Very comfortable handling the ball off, or handing the ball off to him. Beam on Inslee's catch. That Hunter Inslee catch, man, was big time. I was fired up on that one. That was pretty cool, actually. Said that was a crazy catch. I was pumped because it saved a hit for me. Just an unbelievable catch. Kavaris Tears said shows how versatile we are and our will to win. We're never out of it until it ends. That's probably because we just ran out of opportunities. Vitello on why this team has gone to, and he said, when you get here, it's chaos. I'm not experienced or wise enough to say why it's madness and will continue to be that, but broken record, team chemistry, and our camaraderie. This is what I was interested. Vitello and Drew Beam said, if you're going to say how different he is as a player from freshman year to now, it's not that different, which I would agree with, but consistency is the word that sticks out tonight. There was no extra thoughts or trying to accomplish any extra things. And he said on Inslee, he said, I think Hip kept relying on Woody and Doc Klink. He wasn't moving around as the best. So once we got a lead, we couldn't afford having someone out there who couldn't get to a fly ball. So it sounds more precautionary than anything. Vitello says Christian Moore was begging to play center when Inslee exited. Vitello said runs were a premium tonight. Defense was outstanding. I would agree. Says a lot of our guys to come out and have the focus they did after an emotional win. I think that says a lot. I totally agree with that. Tennessee, the other night, that was about as emotional as you could get. And then they come out and took care of business. I thought it was domination. I really did. They dominated. It was pretty good. They rolled. It's rocking and rolling here as well. So got some of you making connections here in the comments. That's pretty awesome. I think I'm gonna wrap up here, guys. I don't know what more Roy to talk about. I'll go good to bad and ugly. I'm trying to prolong a little bit. The good, the pitching. Pitching was excellent tonight. The bad, I would say 9 left on base, but I'm sorry, 9 strikeouts, not 9 left on base. 9 strikeouts. That's kind of the norm. The ugly, I got to pick on something. Colby Backus, his last at bat was horrific. It was ugly. Hopefully Inslee is back. Nothing against Backus. He's done some good things, but when you get your opportunity in that situation, you got to be up there and swing the bat. You can't sit and watch 3 strikes that are on the corner, down the middle, what have you. He had some pretty good pitches to hit. But Beam had it tonight. Beam was on his game. Revisiting my keys to victory. Drew Beam had it. He did his job. He was awesome tonight. The bullpen, 3 pitchers. I said 3 pitchers. Well, they went Beam, Cannell, Sneed. They got the job done. The offense, they did their job. Tears come through with 4 RBIs. Curley got a run in. And then let's see. Who got the other run in? I'm kind of blanking on that one here a little bit. Let's see. That was Chapman. Chapman's bomb. How did I forget that? Yeah, Rich Chapman hit that bomb to make it 4-0 at that point in time. But excellent night. First time in school history that Tennessee is 2-0 to start the College World Series. Their fate is in their hands as far as getting into the championship series. They will not play again till Wednesday. Let me double check this to make sure I'm not incorrect on this. course, Florida State put Virginia out today. Florida State and North Carolina will play Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The winner of that will play Tennessee Wednesday at 1 o'clock on ESPN. Now, if you're streaming, I had somebody literally ask me today, no, I'm not cracking on you, but make sure you listen to my videos, at least if you put them on fast forward or what have you. Somebody said, what streaming service is it on? I literally said in the video this morning, ESPN2, ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus should sponsor this channel as much as I've endorsed them throughout the year. So, before I would say, I guess this is the teacher in me. Before you ask a question, make sure you're listening to the videos. All right, even if you got to put them on that higher speed to get through them. Tennessee will play the winner of North Carolina and Florida State Wednesday at 1 o'clock on ESPN. And then if there is an if game, it will be Thursday, but the time is to be determined on that one, because you're looking at Kentucky, Texas A&M play tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The winner moves on to Wednesday at 6 o'clock. The loser will play the winner of North Carolina State and Florida on Tuesday, and it goes from there. So it looks like it's pretty much barring weather delays or anything like that, there will not be any Friday games. So Tennessee, the best case scenario for Tennessee is to win Wednesday, and then your championship series starts Saturday at 6:30 on ESPN, Sunday at 1 on ABC, and if it gets to that, 6 p.m. Monday the 24th on ESPN. Let's hope Tennessee just wins out and they don't have to worry about it. That's the best case scenario for this team. And we'll wrap up on that one, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'll have some content this week. Frank is on summer break for 7 weeks. It's time to amp up the content. It's time to see what this channel is all about. This is going to be the channel for Tennessee athletics. We can all boast about it. We can go on all we want. The ones that have been around for or what have you. This is going to be the place to be for Tennessee baseball, Tennessee basketball, Tennessee women's basketball, Lady Vols, and eventually we'll get there with football as well. We're a bit behind on football. We're going to get there. But the other three, we're the place for that right now. Football's coming. Football coverage is coming. Big recruiting weekend this past weekend. I'll have some stuff on that this weekend. But thank you guys so much for your support. As always, make sure you like the content. The biggest thing you can do to help, obviously is to share it out. Any Vols fans, have them check it out. Have them share it out. That's the biggest thing to get this thing out there. And then, if you like the content, there's the super chats, the super thanks as well. Always appreciative. All those go back into the channel. That's going to help provide, your recruiting coverage for baseball, which is coming up, which I'm going to get to here in the next week. And we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. I'll see you Wednesday afternoon around 4:30. Hopefully we're celebrating going to the College World Series Championship Series. But in the meantime, there'll be more content. There'll be a next day coming tomorrow morning. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But I hope you guys have a great night sleeping. Hope you have an awesome Monday. And last, but most certainly not least, you know the trick. Go Vols.